Ayo, it's podcast time. Let's do it. Okay. All right, we're in here. We're live and direct. I'm excited about this one. I mean, I'm loud no matter what, so you know what I mean. We'll make sure that you're heard and people hear what you have to say. Um, Man, I'm super. I don't know. It's an honor to have you on. Oh man, it's intro time. Man, where do I start? I mean, clearly she's able to lift more than the average human. She's able to lift more not only than your average female, but than most males. It's evident. Um, it's I mean, I guess we could consider her an up and comer. But I mean, it's nothing new to her. She's been doing this. She does this. She's a champion. She's a record holder. She's half woman, half crane. I right now, I mean, if she's not on, if she's not on every, every, I know for at least for me, the freaking algorithm loves her. I see her stuff all the time. My friends love her. My clients love her. My homeboys, they love her. She's America's sweetheart. She's the USAPL sweetheart. Oh my gosh. I mean, I could go on and on about this young woman, but right now her attention belongs to me. Her story belongs to you. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you JORDANNE. PANTON. I think that's all I got. I tried. I tried to do well with the intro, but I think I messed it up. But it is what it is. Yeah, man, how you been?
I've been good. I've been doing well.
Awesome. Let me see. I'm trying to think, man. Well, I guess the first and last time I actually saw you face to face was at the our lifting event that we had there in Colorado. Thank you again for coming to that. By the way, really appreciated it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. People keep asking, "Hey, when you do another one?" Like, hey, man, we're not even 5 months from having done the last one, but yeah, that was huge. That was impactful. Helped a lot of people. You were an integral part of that. Thank you again for being a part of that. So since Colorado, what have you been up to?
Like lifting wise or just in general?
Just life in general. I mean, I know you graduated. I know you walked. I know you walked. Yeah. So what's been going on since Colorado?
Yeah. I graduated. I competed like 3 weeks after Colorado. And then just been chilling and training since then.
Oh man. I'm trying to think. Do you have? I mean, is nationals? Is that what's on on the horizon? Is that the next meet, or do you have any meets in mind prior to June?
No, hopefully just nationals.
That's the bet. Oh, you know what? I'm tripping. For those of the people out there that have been living under the rock, like you know what, tell them who you are. Tell them what you're about. You have 2 minutes. Go.
Okay. I'm a 63 kg junior. I've been to Equipped Worlds twice, and then I just kind of switched back over to raw lifting. I have the sub junior 63 deadlift equipped record, and then the 63 junior equipped world record, and then a lot of American records.
Must be nice. Jeez. So what got you into lifting? Like, I'm assuming, based off the medals and everything is on your wall in the back there, because I'm being that nosy. I mean, you didn't always power lift. You know what I mean? This is, so this wasn't obviously your first sport. This is not necessarily something new that you do, but this is an additional sport that you picked up that you excelled at. Am I correct?
Yeah, I did like every single sport growing up, but like my main sports were swimming and track. So I was always kind of just like muscular.
Yeah.
And then I started going to the gym just to kind of build more muscle for
Right.
those. And my mom was also going to the gym, and the owner of our gym was a power lifter.
Right.
And he was training us. And so he convinced my mom to do a meet. And then I went and watched her. And then I saw another girl who was like around my age lifting.
Yeah.
And I was like, I bet I can lift more than her. So I signed up, and then I did a meet like a month later.
So you got into the game out of spite, is what you're saying. Like, I can beat her. Let me go ahead and do this. And then you're like, now I'm killing everybody. That's a new one. I like most people, I was convinced. I was just really compelled. Something really pulled me towards you. Like, I saw this girl. I knew I was stronger than her. I signed up. It is what it is. And that's what's up. So you did. All right. Because I know nothing about swimming. I know a little bit, but I don't know a lot about it. So like, what were your events that you did?
So I did sprints, and I was a freestyler.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it. But I did that for like 10 years.
Oh, so that's like for real. Like, it's daggone. So like, all right. I mean, I tried to do a little research, you know what I mean? Because like, just in Texas, there are a few swim teams here and there, man. But like where I'm from in West Texas, there's just not a lot of water, period, at all. So like, I mean, it's just we don't have a lot of swim teams. We have like rodeo teams and stuff like that. So I mean, it is what it is. But so like for those of us that really grew up on a rock in terms of like the swimming aspects of life, what like really what's that about? Like, what's the training like? Like, did you guys have to travel, stuff like that? Like, what was that about?
So like compared to powerlifting, it's a lot more work. Like I would train 7 days a week, and like 4 of those were 2-a-days, and practices were like 3 hours in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. And it was a lot of traveling, and meets were like every other weekend. It was a lot.
No.
Yeah.
Cheese and rice. Like, I mean, okay. Now this is where the nose of me comes in. Like, so number one, that's a lot. Obviously, that's a lot of time. I mean, and this is coming from somebody. I'm like, I don't front. I spend 3-4 hours in the gym, like whatever, you know what I mean, a couple times a day, but I don't necessarily do that every day. So it's pretty much an everyday commitment for like pretty much 10 years. On top of that, obviously you have the travel, which is insane. Okay, I get that. I did AAU basketball. I get that part. The part I don't get is swimming. So, I mean, I don't know if you're in the pool it's just the fact that you're in the pool for that long or at the pool for that long. I don't do anything in my life that I don't even eat. I love to eat, and I don't even eat that much. Like, I just don't. So, okay. I'm sorry. I'm just wrapping my brain around it.
It's like constant in the pool the whole time.
Okay. Number one, I don't care who you are. How did your hair take it? Number two, how did your skin take it? That's the part. Like, I mean, I get the work ethic. I get the work part. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, how my hair would have been falling out. I mean, and I think back, I mean, because I'm assuming a majority of this was obviously in grade school, all the way, up through. I'm thinking back to when I was in school. I had long hair like you do. It was super long. It was down my back. You know what I mean? And every 3 days, I had to go get a hot oil treatment. I always had to go get, my mom would always grease my scalp, all this stuff, you know what I mean? Or, I would have my braids because I had football or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, my hair just from the chlorine over and over and over. And I was super diva about my hair. Like it would have fallen out. And I thought I had pretty decent hair. It would have completely fallen out. And then just on top of it, like, I don't know that I have sensitive skin, but bro, if water is around me, I get ashy. and like my skin starts breaking up, and like skin starts cracking and everything. Like, how did your skin take being in the water like that? I mean, again, I don't care about black, white, whatever. I'm just talking about how is the human dermis and epidermis, how is it able to withstand being in the water that long on a daily basis? It's like something like this your, and again, I'm asking questions. Does your skin change? Does like, you know, do you have to like just constantly like have lotion and like skincare products and stuff? Like how did that part work?
No, yeah, you have to have lotion with you at all times, because as soon as you get out, it's just straight ash. And then an hour later, it's more ash. And then for my hair, it actually was really bad for my hair. My hair like doesn't really grow now.
So like, I mean, and I'm assuming that you put on caps and stuff, but even then okay. I'm so glad you pointed that out, because people don't understand. I didn't understand honestly till I probably was like 11 or 12. You don't just put on one coat of lotion. Like, I don't think people people like, I told you I was random. I don't think people understand that part. Like, you know, and maybe it's me. I thought it was me, but I'm glad you said something, because I don't think people understand that part. Like, you can get in a pool and or get in the water, you know, take a shower, what have you, get out, immediately put on lotion, and you think you're straight. And then like, at least you had an hour or two. Like me, 20 minutes later, just ash, boom, ash everywhere, elbows, hands, whatever. So I'm like, okay, I'll throw on a coat of lotion. So I'll throw on another coat of lotion. And it just would never, with regular, at least for me, with regular lotion, I never, ever can put on 1-2 coats. I'm like 3 coats, 4 coats deep. Like I am the king of ash. Were you there at, man, maybe you were actually, you know, you were training. They were murdering me upstairs because my hands and my feet were so ashy. I'm like, bro, you just saw me put on lotion. Like, why are you like, man, whatever. I'm being a baby now. I'm just being so petty. But like, so like every like every couple of hours, like you would have to throw on like a coat of lotion. I'm assuming just because your skin will kind of dry out a little bit, a lot of it, whatever. And I mean, so it's a constant thing.
Yeah, so, like at school, I'd have to bring like bottles of lotion with me, and just in the middle of the class, just be applying it.
I do that now. Listen, I'm not, you take my line, listen, I have lotion coat, lotion coat, lotion coat. Like I keep, and I'm like, it can't be the cheap stuff.
Yeah.
I don't do the cheap stuff. Like it's got to be that thick. I mean, I'm the worst. Like now that I know, now I'm a grown man and I've been made fun of for at least 10 years of my life. Like there's nothing, at least as a guy, as a black man, there's nothing more embarrassing than getting made fun of for being ashy. And you know, and it's like, it's not even like it's not a race thing. It's just that for me, when another black dude says, "Like, bro, you're so ashy," that cuts me to my core. If a girl says it, I'm like, whatever, shawty, you're being petty, whatever. But when a dude tells me, "Bro, you ashy," I'm like, I must be extra ashy for him to point out, like, bro, yeah. I see, yeah, you know what I mean? Or with the dudes I kick it with now, it's not even one of those things like you're ashy. They walk by you and they just scratch your arm. Like, see, like who does that to somebody? And it'd be like in public in front of people. That for me, that's so embarrassing. So like that, dude, that happened. Oh my God, I was in college. I definitely was in college, and I was just trying to holler at these females. You know, we had a track meet, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you know, I'm probably gonna podium today. You know what I mean? Like, my times feel real strong. You know, it's indoor season, so what else? You know, whatever, man, and dude walks right by me, just right down my arm. I'm like, oh, and that just melted me. And I think from that point on, man, I was like a freshman, sophomore. That was like, that changed everything with me in skin hydration. I stay hydrated now, so I can't even imagine. Just how many times you have to crack at that lotion bottle, man, in middle class. That's the last thing you want to be is caught ashy by anybody in
Yeah.
class. Like, no. That's an absolute, that's a no. You lose your card that way.
Yeah.
So obviously, you lotioned up, all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like I definitely see where it's bad for the hair. You know, I mean, because it's just that chlorine is just no joke. I see what it does to other people's hair. I'm like, oh snap, that cannot be good. I'm lucky now. I just shave it all off. But yeah, man, I feel that. Like, and that was like one of the big things. My mom would never let me go. She would never let me go to the pool. Like, nah, what are you doing? How much? You know how hard we worked on that hair? Like, no, mom, I got it. You know, everybody's going. Like, everybody but you. Like, for real? If you go, you got to wear this cap. Like, mom, my hair can't fit in that cap. Well, I don't know what to tell you. I guess you're outside looking. I used to hate that, man. So I feel you. I feel you on the hair. But I mean, you did that. I'm assuming that you did really well at it after 10 years. I mean, it's so. What is looking back on it? You know what I mean? And I guess coming, fast forward to present day, of those experiences, man, what was probably what was that point, I guess, in your swimming career where you're like, man, I'm good at this? Like, was there like a moment like, oh crap, I'm really good at this?
Yeah, I was state champion a few times.
Oh, you flex real quick. You're right. You know what, man? I don't know that I like you really. You know what I mean? Because you could have said that anytime earlier. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I mean, I was the way I would have like, yeah, I was in the pool a bit. You know, I mean, but it's the sacrifices that one has to, go through in order to be state champion, which I was a few times. That's how I would have done that. But you waited till I went through all of that. Then you did a subtle flex at the end, like, all right, bet. So, all right, let's talk about the state championships then.
Well, it was just like, it was on relays, so.
It don't matter. I got a couple national championships. I got them for relay, and I bet you I still walk around like, hey, yeah, I won that.
Yeah, it was probably like, I don't even know how many times, maybe like 7 or 8 times. But so I was actually really good, but I didn't enjoy it because it was so much time.
Yeah. So it wasn't something like, oh, I'm gonna go to school and I want to swim in school. It was like, all right, once I'm done, I'm done.
Well, so I definitely could have, but that was like right around the time, like in high school, when I found out about powerlifting. And I couldn't really balance both of them. Yeah. So I ended up stopping.
Oh man. Clearly that was a great decision because I'm not gonna front. It sounds like you were pretty good at the swimming thing. I'm not gonna hate on that, but you're kind of good at this lifting thing too. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and you're making an impact. You're making a splash. See what I did with the funny more at it. But yeah, man, that's fire, man. So like now, with just how things are going. Oh, okay. I guess this is a question I didn't really think about asking. So I'm assuming that you're gonna go raw at nationals, or are you ever gonna go back to equip?
I don't know. Not anytime soon.
No, don't lie. You're like, yeah, I ain't going. That's something that before I'm done with my lifting career, that's something I really, really want to try. In high school, obviously I live in Texas. In high school, it's almost mandatory that they lift equipped in high school. So way back when I did my 2-3 meets, I should say, in high school, that was they tried to make me. I didn't want the knee sleeve. I didn't want the knee wraps, and I didn't want to be on the squat suit. And it wasn't that I was afraid of the pain. I'm not necessarily a germaphobe, but I didn't want to wear a suit that another dude was just wearing. You know what I mean? So we only had like 4 suits, and so people would have to trade them out. I'm like, nah, bro. He just farted all in that suit, and I really don't want. So I was like, can I just go without it? Like, yeah. So they got me like this look-alike black singlet, you know what I mean? And I just wore that. I lifted raw. I've lifted raw is, all my powerlifting experiences. I tried to put on a bench shirt and I like how it pinched my arms. I'm like, I'm not gonna do this. So I get it, but I just want to know what it's like. And I think my problem is I watch like Ian Bell and I watch Kelsey and I'm like, man, bro, they're killing it. I really wish I could try it. And I think I watched one of the worlds that you did, and you were just like murdering people. I'm like, oh, it just looks like it's like that walkout. That's the part like I don't know, man. I don't like my knee sleeves being too tight, so let alone like, oh God, man. But it looks that weight looks so cold when it's on that back though. You know what I mean? Like, oh, so I just want to try it, but I don't know, man. Like, so obviously, I mean, you kill it both, so it is just what it is. I'm like, you know, you did what you did, you know what I mean? Equip in this raw thing, you know, I mean, not like you're new at it, but anything, but like, you know, is it one of those things where it's just, you know, is it I'm imagining it's you know a lot less prep time in terms of just having to put on the equipment and all that stuff. Like you can go in, get your warm up in, knock it out, and get out. But I feel like it's a completely different. Again, this is my assumption. I feel like it's a completely different skill set that one needs to really master the art of equipped lifting. Because to me, it looks like a completely different discipline.
Yeah, definitely. But I think that equipped lifting really helps you as a raw lifter because you have to work a lot on technique and it takes a really long time to master. Like Ian and Kelsey, like they've been working at it for a long time.
Boy, listen. And they are like two of the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
Just man, I you know, I think I've known this is how crazy, like Ian's younger than me, but Ian's like my OG when it comes to just powerlifting. My first meet that I ever did, Ian was my head judge, and he may have been like 18, 19. And I just remember I'm like, dude, who is this kid? He goes, oh, that's Ian. I'm like, who is that? He's like, Ian? You know who Ian Bell is? That's royalty, fool. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he just started naming out all the stuff he had done. And he had done more stuff before he's 21 than I've done up to date. But I just like even you know over the last like 2 or 3 years, he's like, man, why don't you just try to do equip? I'm like, man, listen, you're not gonna get me on that platform and murder me in front of my family. That's no, go as a 93. Like it doesn't matter. You're going to embarrass me. I don't want that. Like the last time Ian and I competed against each other, I won, and I want to keep it that way. No way. That dude is nasty with it, and I feel like an idiot for I had always known of Kelsey, but I had never seen her. So naturally, I slept on her. I don't know. Like the only lifters I really knew that lifted a, you know, equip was like you, and I knew like obviously Joe Cap, and I knew Blaine because I knew those guys personally, and of course Ian and Greg, who was trying to go raw again, and I never knew of her. And when I met her in Colorado, I was like, what? How have I not known who you are? That just, you don't even, it's weird that, I mean, obviously you know both sides, you know, of the spectrum. So, I mean, you're aware of all the badass lifters as raw and equipped, you know what I mean? So you have like this, you know, this insight that a lot of us completely raw lifters know nothing about. And so what it really did, obviously one of the cool things about like, meeting you, I was like, well, crap, dude, if she's as strong as she is, and obviously Kelsey's as strong as she is, and I've known Joe forever, like there's a completely untapped source of powerlifting inspiration for me on the equip side that I never thought of looking towards. And honestly, I'm not gonna joke, man. Like I said, having a chance to talk with you and, you know, having you on that panel and just kind of hearing, you know, about you growing up and just, you know, how you grew up. I was like, wait, we're pretty similar, man. We grew up in those small towns, and I mean, it's just a different way of life. And like, okay, all right, that's cool. So it was kind of I mean, obviously the lifting is inspiring for me, but it's like hearing people's stories are super inspiring just to hear about, you know, coming up and just, you know, it's just different. The way we came up was different. So I was like, you know what? I want to dig in a little bit more into what she's about, who she is, you know what I mean? And then I ended up disappearing down a rabbit hole and finding out all about all these other equipped lifters. And I mean, it's just a completely untapped source of inspiration for me. And then I circle back to you just because you're obviously like you're killing it, but you're doing it in such a quietly loud way. You know what I mean? Like I mean, if one is to meet you face to face, they're like, oh my gosh, she's so sweet, she's so nice, she's really quiet, she seems kind of shy. But bro, it's a completely different situation when it comes time for, for you and the bar. It's completely different. And I don't know. I laugh. I low key laughed at laughed to myself, when I watch you train, and just like, and just damn near going PR after PR when we're in Colorado. I'm like, yo, she's on another level. That's what's up. Because I just sit in the back. I kind of do my wise old owl thing. Like I just kind of do the old head thing in the back. Like, yeah, I see you, girl. I see you. All right, I see you. And like, it's just like in the moment, you're an absolute beast. Outside of that, you just, you know what I mean? Just, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, so is that just your personality? Is that always how you've been? Is that just the type of competitor that you are? Or is that just something that, your personality. So like you kind of keep everything, not necessarily bottled in, but you stay on that Clark Kent until it's time to be Superwoman? Or is it one of those things where like, this is just how I am all the time?
Yeah, that's just kind of how I am all the time. I'm very quiet. And then, I mean, even when I lift, I'm really calm, like at meets. I don't get hyped up or anything. I just kind of do my thing.
Kind of do your thing, like, all right, I'll see y'all next time. Like, yeah, I get that. It's weird because I was talking with Amanda Lawrence, and she, we were talking about the difference between, how like I try to stay calm when I'm lifting, and what I mean, like it's like for me, I try to think of it as the calm before the storm. I just, I don't really like my emotions to get the best of me, prior to a lift. And she's like, boy, I get hyped. I get so hyped before lifting. I'm like, yeah, man, like I tried that one time, and I don't remember. I did a bench only meet in like Puerto Rico, and I lifted angry the whole time, so hyped. I was overwhelmed with emotion, and I don't even remember the meet. I was just saw red the whole time. That's the one and only time I've ever done that, and it's uncharacteristic for me. But we differ in that I'm a loudmouth, dog. I'm all over the place, hopping around, being nuts, talking to everybody, and it was kind of, it was cool seeing you, like, I guess, in real time, real life, you know what I mean? Because you're super chill. And for those people that, don't really know you, or, all they know of you is your social media, they'll be like, oh my God, I bet you she's this, I bet she's that. And I don't think people understand. And for those that are listening, those people that are watching, I don't think people understand, like you're quiet, you are super sweet, very, very, very nice. Very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, where it I don't necessarily want to sound sexist, but you're very, very ladylike, very, just, I don't know, man. I was trying to pinpoint, like, because you don't necessarily have a personality that everyone has, but there's this, like, this quiet, reserved strength about you that, I mean, it's pretty dope. You know what I mean? And so for me, you seeing that, I'm immediately reminded of like my little sister. I'm reminded of, some of my younger cousins. I'm like, you know what? If they ever want to find someone to follow, they ever want to find someone to draw inspiration from, I'm gonna tell them about Jordan. I'm gonna tell them about her. Because for me, I was very, very, very just impressed. And not that me being impressed is a big thing, but I'm such a hater, dog, low key. You know what I mean? Like, nowadays, man, people just want all this attention. And then once it's heaped on them, like, bro, you want all this attention just to be a disappointment? Get out of here. But then you get those people that are deserving of that attention, I believe, and they don't disappoint. And, slowly but surely, you're starting to receive more attention, and you're starting to, receive, just, you're just due. You know what I'm saying? But you're very deserving of that attention, and you work hard, bro. You work super, super hard. And I think that's the cool thing on the outside looking in, is like, all right, well, if I didn't know her and if I weren't able to see her face to face and see that work ethic, I would just assume, like, man, all that is just God given. Don't get me wrong, I'm not getting twisted. You are definitely blessed genetically, but at the same time, you work. Is there something that you attribute that work ethic to, or is that just something you've always done?
I'd say it's from my parents. Just like Well, I think also being in sports from when I was really young,
Mm-hmm.
that just kind of instilled that into me, but also my parents are like that too. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
just
hard
something that I
workers.
picked up.
It's kind of one of those things where like you mean it's the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. It's like my parents work hard, like, well, clearly I'm gonna work hard as well. Um, do you feel like, and it's just something like that I start thinking about more so now that I look back on like my playing career. Um, do you feel that your work ethic, a lot of it kind of stems from, obviously the team sports and everything that you played, or is that just one of those things that, you know, you've always just had this individual burning desire just to be the best at what you're doing?
I think it's more of an individual thing for
Mm-hmm.
me. I kind of think that's what sets me apart from other people.
Mm-hmm.
Just like in the way that I approach not just sports, but just life in general.
Just got that, like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do the best that I can. I
Yeah.
feel that. I feel that. That's what's up. So aside from the lifting stuff, like, what do you do? Like, what are some other stuff that you do? Obviously, I mean, clearly you don't lift every day, all day. You have other things that you like. What do you do outside of the lifting thing? I mean, not, I guess for fun, or just like, what's a hobby outside of lifting that you do that you find fulfillment within?
Uh, I don't do that much. I like traveling.
That's
I like. I'm really boring.
You, well, right now everyone's boring me because COVID's kind of shut down everything. But I mean, so would you consider yourself kind of a, obviously, you like to travel. That's awesome. I mean, are you one of those that, like, you know what, I could be at home and chill and be fine with it, or
Yeah.
you have to be doing something?
No, I could just do nothing all day.
Oh, girl, God. I don't know, friend. Sometimes I'm like that. Like, honestly, and I mean, rightfully so, especially post graduation, man. There's a point where you're just like, all right, let me just breathe for a little bit and just chill at the crib. I honestly, man, sometimes I'm not gonna front. COVID, I mean, God bless those that were affected by COVID. COVID did a lot for me in terms of me being able to appreciate being at home and not going places. And then once I got to a point where, like, well, I mean, things, at least in Texas, things kind of opened up. So I'm like, all right, well, I can actually do something now. I fell in love with being at the crib. Got a new couch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, do I really want to go anywhere? And then they made the mistake of letting your boy get that Disney Plus. Then I was like, I'm really not leaving. And then they made the mistake of adding that HBO Max to the subscription. Now, like, I can tell you straight up, I mean, I love movies, but between Disney movies, between Marvel shows, and between South Park, I don't have to leave the crib. I don't have to leave the crib. Like, I try now. I mean, plus like I have a gym in my garage. I really don't have to leave. So I'm like, I mean, I think week before last, I left the house twice, and once to go to the gym just because I want to see people, and the other one was to go wash my truck. But aside from that, I didn't leave the crib. So I feel that I'm on talking all this trash, like, you don't really do nothing. I mean, come on. And I'm like, wait a minute. Let me shut my mouth because I'm for real doing a podcast right now at the crib when I could be doing. I used to do them at Starbucks just so I could be in public. I'm like, hey, okay, let me shut up. So I mean, that's cool. I mean, I wouldn't say that you're not like necessarily boring. You just, what you like. You like to chill at the crib. I get that. I mean, a lot of people like to chill at the crib. That's identifiable. But when it's time to get it, where is of the places that you travel, what's your favorite place to go to?
Probably Jamaica, because that's where my family is.
That's what's Wait, where in Jamaica are they from? Just all over, or?
All over, yeah.
Man, listen, that's weird because that's another. I've done so much stuff in my old life. When I travel the world doing like all the cheerleading stuff, man, that was one of the main places I would go. Obviously, I would go to South America all the time, but I would also go to Jamaica. New Kingston, bro, that was my spot. Like, oh man, bro, I love I mean, Kingston just is my favorite. It's just my favorite part of Jamaica, period. But New Kingston, oh man, I was so scared when I went there. I'm like, this feels like home, but it doesn't feel like home. But I was going every like that, but that span of that 6 month period, every 3 weeks, I would be going to Kingston. And the cool thing about, I mean, and again, I don't know if those of you that, you know, shout out to all my Jamaican fam out there. For those of you people that have been around Jamaicans and know how Jamaicans, you know, are, you really, as far as my experiences, they either love you or they don't. There's no in between. And so when I got there, you know what I mean? They feel you out. Like, what are you doing here? I'm like, I'm doing cheerleading. Cheerleading. What's cheerleading? And so I had to like explain to him, you know, and like, okay, all right, okay. What are you doing it at? I'm like, oh, we're doing it over here at UE. We come by. I'm like, oh, you can't come by. It's closed. Nah, we come by. I'm like, all right, cool. So they came by. I met these people at the airport. So they came by and they watched or whatever. And so I was going back every 3 weeks, every 3 weeks. Same American flight, every 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks. And it was around like that fourth. It had to be like that fourth month of me going back. It was the same. I mean, the same flight, like same flight attendant, same people. I come out and I'm getting ready I'm waiting for the cab, and you know, it's called the same cab number. And I'm sitting out there, and the sky cab's like, "What's up, man? Welcome home." I was like, I'm not from here. He goes, nah, this is home for you now. You come here. I'm like, oh man. So that changed everything for me. I thought I was the coolest dude on the planet. You know what I mean? Because it was between that, you know what I mean, and you know, and oh my God, what is it? What's the place we used to go to all the time for the oh my God, they're not pies. I'm tripping. They're not pies. Oh my God, what?
Patties?
The patties, yeah. There's a spot. I know the sign. It's like red. It's like green, red, and white. It's almost like a fast food spot. You know what I'm talking about? Maybe you know. I'm tripping. First of all, if you hadn't had a patty, you're tripping. Your life is not complete. Okay, here's my question. I'm being so. This is turned into a LS Ask Jordan questions about how to get patties. Do you know how to make patties?
How to make them?
Yes.
No.
Bro, I got excited for a quick second. It's whatever, man. Like, you know what? I will say this: that a lot of, you know, I honestly not really. I really didn't think about it till really now. You definitely have a Caribbean vibe to you for sure.
I do,
without a doubt. Like, a lot of people, and again, if you have friends that are from the islands or people that of you know, Caribbean descent, like, you know, like stereotypically you guys are very chill. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a lot of, you know what I mean, like you're quite opposite of your stereotypical American. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Americans stereotypically we were considered loud and obnoxious and whatever, you know what I mean? But people like of that island descent, man, you know, you have this like, oh no. Because my man Reggie's like that. You know, my man Reggie, he's, you know, and my boy Jonathan's like that. They're both Haitian, of Haitian descent, and they're the chillest dudes. Like, man, that's what's up. You know, I'm glad we're having this right now. I'm excited. Okay, all right. I got to get to this before we get to the questions because I don't want to take up all your time. Because I know these dudes are tripping right now because I put that out. You were going to be on the podcast, and girl, I got more DMs from people like, oh my God, you get Jordan out? Hey, tell her, holler at me. Tell her, hey, does she need the light bills paid? Hey, tell her, I'm like, why? What are some of the craziest things that people have DM'd you up to this point?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of guys will just DM me like, hey, can I send you money? You're really pretty. Just, that's it.
Oh my God. Please tell me there's at least one dude out there like, hey, you need your lights paid. Hey, you need your bills paid.
Yeah, I've gotten that too.
Please tell me you say yes. Like, yeah, she paid for my bills. Dude, I love it, man. I don't understand. I mean, but I promise you, in our hearts, we feel like that's gonna work. This is gonna get her.
It
We pay for
doesn't
something
work.
for you. And like, you know what? So like, all right, I gotta ask this, man, because I never really thought to ask. Do you know, like, say when you post, do you know like, oh, this right here is gonna kill him? Or are you just like, I just feel like doing it, I'm gonna do it. Because I just want to, okay, I'm not being a hater. My thing is like, all right, like you're like, obviously you're super smart, super sweet, hella competitive. And then sometimes you're like, you know what? I'm gonna hit these fools with a hump day real quick. Let me see if I can kill them real fast. Like, is that just one of them like, let me hit them with a hump day today. And just that's it? That's just a wrap? Like, how does, like, I'm asking because again, I'm not a fine person. You know what I mean? Like every post you get from me, I'm built like a box. It's like, hey, let me hit them with this box real quick every time. Like, this is it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a baddie. So I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm like, oh, she hit him with the hump day today. All right, that's a bad. Somebody's gonna try to pay her light bill today. Somebody's gonna say something stupid today. I mean, like, and again, I'm not being a hater. I promise you, I'm not being a hater. But these are questions that I've always wanted to ask. I just, you know, I mean, sometimes I had the balls to ask. Sometimes I don't. Today, I just do. Like, how does that work out? Like, it's just like, you know what? I feel like breaking the internet today. Let's do it. Or it's just.
I just get bored. I'm at home and I'm like, let me just switch it up today.
Oh,
that's
Lord
it.
Jesus. It's like, you know what? Somebody out there has heart problems. Let me go ahead and just expedite that. What? Say so. That's what's up. So do you, and again, these are questions that I've always, I guess, wanted to know, especially recently. Like, I mean, clearly the dudes have their reaction. I mean, do you find the reaction from female following? Is it? I mean, I'm assuming it's more supporting. I mean, because I mean, I have a few friends. You know what I mean? You're not my only friend that's a baddie. Like, do you is the response typically pretty positive from females, or do you get some hate?
No, I get some hate sometimes. Actually, like whenever I post something like that, I probably lose like 30 to 40 followers every time. I don't know. People just some people don't like to see it.
You lose about 30, 40 followers, but then you gain about 200. Don't front. Don't even lie. Listen, I'm saying I get it. You know what I mean? But at this day and age, man, I mean, I was thinking like, man, she could be doing a lot worse. They could be doing a lot worse. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of it all, man, like, you know, some people just petty, you know, and you know, I'm unfollow just so you can see them unfollow, only to follow back, you know what I'm saying, a couple weeks later, like, oh, I don't want to see that. Oh, did you see what she pulled? Like, I get it, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm just like, man, if I don't understand it because I'm not fine, so I don't know that part of life. But if I was, I would probably, you know what I mean? Like, I tell my boys all the time, like, bro, you let me get one ab, it's a wrap. I promise you. They're gonna know, like you're a grown man, and I promise you, I'm gonna be 21 all over again. You let me get one ab, it's a wrap for the game. I swear my shirts are never going to be on.
Yeah. No, for me, when I was growing up, I always was like super self-conscious and I didn't like the way that I looked.
Yeah.
And now like with lifting, I really like the way that like my body is now.
Right.
So I'm
yeah,
gonna
why
be
not? I mean,
about it. I don't care.
Man, you're only young once, number one. And number two, man, you know, like, and that was I honestly, I can be honest with you. That was one of the things that I struggled with coming up because I just, you know, I wasn't built like the other boys. I mean, and it was weird. I mean, I talk all this trash, like, you know, like I'm this fatty. I'm not necessarily a fatty, but I was never the tall, you know, at least the guys I grew up with, I was never the tall, dark, and handsome type. I was never like this, you know, 6 foot, blonde hair, blue-eyed dude with like long torso and like the long block abs. And like, man, but all my boys was just, they were all just like these Calvin Klein looking ass dudes and Abercrombie looking dudes. And like, I was like, man, that's crazy. And then again, when you're like one of the only black kids in the town, you're just like, bro, that must be nice, man. Like, I mean, because that's all you know. Yeah, I mean, and so I just, so my body images, I should say, my body image, my self-image of my body was I was never like, oh man, I'm trash. I was just always that short, husky black kid. I was strong or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But you can't help when you're growing up to like look at what you're around mostly, like, man, why don't I look like that? Or, you know what I mean? And I mean, shout out to my parents, man, because they really, helped me get through a lot of that, but it wasn't until I got to college, I was like, oh, word, there's other people that look like me, that are built like me. And straight up, no lie, when I got into powerlifting, I'm like, yo, I actually have one of the better bodies out here. That's what's up. You know what I mean? And then, and of course, that shout out to the powerlifting community for that, man, because we champion our people for sure. And you know what I mean? Like, I might not be a baddie on the street, but in this powerlifting world, my DMs go crazy and I don't even care. You know what I mean? Like, so I get that part. I lifting definitely, when I started lifting super heavy, you know what I mean? Like, because like there's parts of your muscle groups that just start developing more than others, man. And so you start getting these knots and these boulders where you didn't really have them before. And you're there's something about lifting heavy weight. It's such an empowering thing. Like you're empowered from it. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, you have people that are cheering for you, that want you to do more and want you to do well. So you get even more confident. Like I feel that. I feel that to the fiber of my being. So yeah, why not? You look like that? Shut it down. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I want to get to a point at one point where I hit my IG one time, like, okay, I'll see you in less. I'm trying to lose 150, 200, 300 followers. Like, damn, man, that's what you were doing. That's what you're doing. I want one time. I mean, I ain't gonna hit him with a hump day. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But I'm trying to shut the hell down one time and be like, all right, okay, he ain't playing. But I'm not there yet. I'm gonna get there. You wait, man. When I come back to nationals. But right now I'm not. Right now I'm keeping this hoodie on. That's real. But yeah, man, it's appreciated. I can definitely tell you, man, I got a lot of super positive DMs about having you on. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Like shout out Mr. A9. I won't say your name. He's like, hey, listen, if she needs a bill paid, let her know. So let you know right now, you know what I mean? Well, my boys want to pay your bills. He's gonna kill me. He's gonna kill me. Let's get out of there. Let's get into this before I let you go, because I'm super appreciative of this conversation, and I didn't want to take up more of your time than you need me to. As always with the podcast, I always ask about Rushmores and people that impacted your life and everything. Who so far has been the biggest impact in your life?
You mean like lifters?
It could be lifters, it could be coaches, it could be parents, it could be anyone. Who's a couple of people, before we get to your who's on your Rushmore, but who's a few people that have really been super great influences in your life?
First, the most impactful is definitely my mom.
I feel that.
Because I'm a lot like her, and she's also the one that got me into powerlifting, and we're kind of like a mother-daughter duo kind of thing. We used to do meets together.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at it.
Yeah. So yeah, and I definitely get my work ethic from her.
Your mom, she's a grinder. She goes in.
Yeah.
Shout out, yeah, dude. Moms just, it's so weird, man. I don't know any mom out there that just does not, at least of all the top competitors that I've ever met, I don't know. I mean, obviously, there's the dads out there, but I don't know anybody that doesn't get just, if not just a little bit, but they always get a lot of that work ethic from mom, man. Like I know I did. My mom is an absolute G. She never stops. She retired for all of 3 months and went right back to work. She said, I can't do this. My dad on the other hand, like, nah, I've earned this retirement. I'm straight. I'm good. I'm a chill. My mom's like, I can't do this. I need to do something. I've never known a woman that hustles as hard as my mom, you know what I mean? But then I'm starting to see more and more that there's a lot of, young men and women like yourself that, their parents exactly the same. Like there's an element of grind that mothers have that they instill in their children, so indirectly, some directly, but such an indirect, influence that they have in terms of just that daily, just work, making sure that you're okay, making sure that you're fed, making sure that you're clothed, making sure that you're, that you're healthy, you know what I mean? And more so than anything, making sure that you're loved. And at the same time, provide such an amazing example of just this unequivocal, this agape, this unbridled, love, devotion, and inspiration. And, so for sure, man, shout out all moms. Shout out your mom for sure, man, because honestly, she has helped cultivate an absolute monster on the platform. And honestly, one of my favorite people. I'm excited. I'm super excited to see how far you go, and not just the records that you break, but the impact that you're gonna make. I'm excited, man. So I'm glad you took the time to do this podcast with me. So we'll get to this Rushmore. So who are 4 people that you would place on your Rushmore? It could be anyone.
Wait, so not just lifters?
Okay, so you want to lift it? You want to lift it? Do you want 2 Rushmores? Do you need a non-lifting Rushmore and a lifting Rushmore? Or do you just want to lifting? It's your call. This is your podcast, bro.
I'll just do a lifting one.
Okay, lifting Rushmore. Go.
So first, Kimberly Walford.
Without a doubt.
My favorite lifter. Probably Jen Thompson.
Yes, ma'am.
Gonna say David Ricks.
Ugh.
And
David Ricks.
Ooh, I don't know who for the last spot.
It's okay. It's all right. You know what I mean? I mean, not all Rushmores have to have freaking 4.
Okay.
So Jen Thompson, completely understandable. Kim Walford, completely understandable. David Ricks, who's on my Rushmore as well. Yes, so actually him and Jen, they're both on my Rushmore, so I completely get that. Yeah, those are super, super dope. And finally, we come to it. Those of you that follow, those of you that listen, those of you that watch know we have the tradition. We have the song. Now, if you were accosted in an alley, gun to your head, the assailant says you have to sing or chant or rap 15 seconds of a song, would you be able to do it? It could be any song. It could be a theme song. It could be a chant. It could be whatever it is. But would you be able to last 15 seconds to make it out of the alley alive? Yes or no?
Yeah, I think so.
What song or chant or rap or whatever would you go with?
Fergalicious.
Fergalicious. This is a new one. Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
I don't know if it's 15 seconds, but I'll try to.
All right. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready, you are. Oh, man, these people will not stop. Okay. I'm trying to get my timer ready. All right. Go whenever you're ready.
Okay. Hit a Fergie. All the time I turn around, brothers gather around. Always looking at me up and down, looking at my eye. I just want to say now, I ain't trying to round up drama, little mama. I don't want to take a man. And I know I'm coming off just a little bit conceited. And I keep how I feel. All the boys want to eat up in a chottel. That I can't be treated like clientele because they say she delicious. So delicious.
Boom. 15 seconds. Plus, you did it. You made it out of the alley alive. Oh man, Jordan, thank you so much for this podcast, for being on this. Obviously, you have socials. I wouldn't have found you otherwise. Where can people find you?
On Instagram at Jordanne PANTON.
You are the GOAT in training. You are the queen. You're one of the hottest in the game. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you so very much. If you need anything, you know where I'm at. I'm super excited. I'm really thank you for this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on.
Always, man. We're definitely gonna have a part 2. I'm excited. The part 2 is gonna be even worse. I'm sorry, but it's but thank you very much. If you need anything, move me over and find me. Thank you so much for being on here. Have a good day. All right.
Appreciate it. You too.
All right. See you later. What's up, people? LS here. I'm sitting thinking to myself, there's some people out there that want to get stronger. They want to work on their swag. They just want to feel better. I have that solution. I'm messing. Listen, you can go to lsmcclain.com, my website, and you can get programming if you want to get stronger. You can go to my store and get swag. So you can get both of those things. Your self-esteem is going to go through the roof. All you got to do is go to lsmcclain.com. It literally has everything you need. I mean, I think I might even have a link to some dating websites. I'm not sure. I might be able to help you find the love of your life. Either way, go to lsmcclain.com. How's that? You know what? lsmcclain.com. Go there. Love you. Peace.